If covered calls are so great, why doesn't everybody run them? In today's video, we're going to be talking about it. And if you just drop a comment down below on today's video, you're going to get my full 2026 option sellers guide specifically for the wheel strategy. So just drop a comment. I'll personally send that over to you. And while you're down there, I really appreciate you hitting that like button and that subscribe button. And of course, I hope you're having an absolutely God-blessed day. Today, guys, we are specifically talking about if covered calls are so great. Everybody says you can make all this passive income from your covered calls, right? Why isn't everybody doing them? Why is everybody not out there doing them? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Obviously, some huge news coming out. Yes, this last night from the DOJ opens up a criminal probe into PAL. So we will see what happens with that. But the volatility is back, baby. But today we're talking about a little bit something different. We're talking about these covered calls, right? Why doesn't everybody do them? Well, first and foremost, we got to talk about what the covered call even is, right? So let me show you specifically, right? Here we are on our options chain, and let's just assume you own 100 shares of Apple, okay? Right? And you want to rent them out and collect some income along the way. I always like to use the analogy, right? People don't just go out there and buy a rental property and only hope to make appreciation. No, right? They rent it out for monthly cash flow, and then eventually, when they're older or whenever, they eventually sell it and lock in gains and, live their lives or move into a different opportunity. We kind of do something similar when we're selling options in just a different way, so to speak, a little bit more shorter term than like a 30-year mortgage payment. But let's take a look at our trade options section. From here, we are simply saying selling a call. All I'm saying is I'm willing to sell my 100 shares of stocks. Now, one prerequisite, obviously one options contract equals 100 shares. That's the rules. That's the way it is, just FYI. So you need to do a covered call. You need at least 100 shares of stock, right? And that's all I'm saying here is I'm willing to sell 100 shares of my Apple on whatever date I decide, right? So in this example, we'll just go out about 30 days for this example, and we're going to say, hey, we'll sell 100 shares of our Apple on February 13th if it hits a certain price. We get to name our price. What is the price that we'd be comfortable selling our 100 shares for? Now, I'm a strong believer everybody has their price. But in our example, let's just assume you own 100 shares of Apple around current market value of around $259. We'll just say you went out there and bought 100 shares. Some of you may have your cost basis a little bit lower. But for example, let's say, if it hits 270, right, I'm totally cool letting go of my shares. Now, if we did this specific trade, right, we'd collect about $410 of premium. Usually we like to get between the bid and an ask spread. For the most part, that's tight, but we'll just say let's just say we'll collect $410 of premium. That's deposited immediately up front. And let's go to our handy dandy covered call calculator, and we're going to type in our premium. How much premium are we collecting on this trade? We're collecting 410. Obviously, results vary, not financial advice, guys. It's just what I'm seeing at the time of recording this. Our strike of the option is what we're willing to sell our shares for. 270, we're going to say 270. And of course, guys, you can download all of my premium calculators as well as my full trade log template completely for free, no strings attached, by attending the Ark Options Strategy workshop. First link down below in the description of today's video. Right, and then our purchase strike price, we said we bought 100 shares about around current market value, so around we'll say 259, okay? It's 259, okay? Perfect. And this is what the trade looks like when we do our traditional covered call. Now, few outcomes can happen here, right? First and foremost, right, on the 13th at close, let's say Apple is trading below 270. Fantastic. We don't sell our shares, right? We collected a rent check and we move on with our lives. But here's the biggest risk, right, is that what if on the 13th, Apple is trading at 275, 280, 285. Aw, guess what? You miss out on all those gains. You miss out on all those gains. You are showing right here, what I'm showing you on your screen right now is your max profit potential on this trade, okay? So let's say on the 13th, right, it closes at, like I said, 275. You're missing out on any of that further upside. You are selling your shares for $270 and locking in your profit on your shares of $1,100, right? Because you bought them for $259, you sold them for $270. That gives you that $1,100 of profit on your shares. If you want to add in your premium that you collected in there with the 410, you collect $1,500 or about just about a 6% return in a 32-day period. Now, why doesn't everybody do this? Because to me, when I see this, I'm like, I don't care. I want to get in and out. I treat option selling like I do business, right? My purpose is to create a profit, right? Whether I get taxed or not, it's unavoidable. And then I move into different opportunities, right? To continue, have that juice flowing, so to speak, right? That's how I treat, when I enter the markets, that's how I'm treating my option selling portfolio. My option selling portfolio isn't buy and hold. It's to be able to, if I have to, get in and out at a profit and not beat myself up over it. We see how quickly this market can change. But with that said, let's take a look at Apple, because the reason a lot of people think covered calls are too good to be true oftentimes is because your stock selection is terrible. Okay, usually your stock selection is not ideal, right? So let me take a look at Apple right here on the chart right here. Now, over the past 6 months, we could see that, let's say you held Apple, right? It was at 208, right? And then at all-time highs, right? We had almost at 300, 285, right? That is an insane gain, right? That is an insane gain to make in a very short period of time. Now, of course, if we were doing our cash secured puts along the way, let's say we did our cash secured puts, we got assigned around 202, right? We ended up closing those out because it shot up right here, right? In this specific scenario, you may have been better off just holding the shares. Yeah, I said it. You might have been better off just holding the shares. When you look at a chart like this for a stock that, look, it has not even crossed below its middle Bollinger Band until just recently of me shooting this video. We have basically always stayed above our 50-day moving average. Literally the only other opportunity was August 2025 that we dipped below it. And ever since then, the trend has been going upwards, well above our 200 and 300-day moving averages, right? And now, right, at least at the time of recording this, an opportunity is starting to present itself if you like Apple, right? We have dipped below our 50-day moving average of 272, trading below our bottom Bollinger Band, right? And now an opportunity is starting to form for us, right? Similar to, how we have seen. Now, obviously, all of these technicals, all of this stuff is a fugazi. None of it, no one knows what a stock market's going to do, but it does help you make an educated decision for yourself, okay? So in my opinion, this is a good setup for the most part, a decent setup. Now, obviously, Apple has been on a tear, right? It is a higher risk play, but also let's look at even a 5-year chart, right? 5 years ago, Apple was trading at 130, right? 130. Now, there is arguments to be had. People will have arguments to say your gains would have been better on Apple over the past 5 years if, right, you were selling calls and selling puts. But here's my challenge to you, right? Really, a company like Apple doesn't often have a great Ark setup, in my personal opinion, me personally, right? So for example, if 5 years ago, right, on the 2021, I would have never gone into this. I wouldn't have gone into this quite literally until May 2022 when it finally dropped below its middle Bollinger Band and I jumped in around this part. Because for me, the Ark Options Strategy way is I wait till I'm towards the bottom of the Bollinger Band. I'm heavily oversold. I sell puts towards the bottom, right? And then I get a sign and hopefully sell my calls, right? So unless I went out and I only just had 100 shares that I've dollar cost average it into, right? For the most part, let's say I bought 100 shares around 135 and then I started doing 140 calls. Right, I would have literally been assigned quite literally a month or two later, if that. Right, I would have literally been assigned, and my shares would have been gone. And this is why I say strike selection is really important. And I hate saying timing your entries, but sometimes yes, timing your entries is important here, right? Because stocks like this, these are blue chip, fantastic companies that don't often go on sale. People hold them; they're dollar cost averaging into them. So we rarely see opportunities. Again, we didn't see that until May 2022, where Apple was getting beat up for about an entire month. Now, the argument can be had, right? The argument can be had of like, well, Pete, look, it dipped below where it was a year even before that. Yes, for sure it does, right? And let's say here we took assignment and we sold a month later, right? Literally a month later, let's say we got assigned around the 130 mark, right? And we would have most likely sold, but right, you most likely wouldn't have beat the person. And that's just me saying that. If somebody was selling options based off technicals, kind of like the Ark way, looking at the Bollinger Band, looking at averages, and kind of making educated decisions, not just selling puts when we're at the top of the Bollinger Band at all-time highs, right? If somebody was doing that, sure, right? We can make the argument there. But for the most part, there hasn't been a technical setup here worth our time, in my opinion, right? A few times in 2020, a little bit in 2023, and really just, 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 here, 5, 6 times, really like 6 to 10 times. Was there like an incredible setup on Apple here? Now, obviously, this is a 5-year chart. We're not seeing the grander picture here on this chart until we zoom in a little bit more on the setup. Obviously, look at this right now. The setup on the 6-month chart here obviously is a better setup. But look at it zoomed out, right? Look at on the Bollinger Band on the zoom out. Look how the last time we were at these levels, right, is 2020. Really at the start of or December 2024 right here, right, towards the end of December 2024, right? So again, is it a good setup? I don't know. It's hard to say with Apple, right? I'm not really going to dive into all the technical analysis of Apple, but it is a stock I am watching right now. It is one of the most valuable companies in the entire world. It's not something I would bet against them, but for me, I'm looking at more boring like stuff, right? So like for example, let's take like a Ford. Like I know, like some of you may love-hate relationship. Obviously, not even a great example. Up 5.5%. But let's take a look at the chart here. Right, in a situation like this with like a Ford, right, a really boring stock, let's take a look at what our 5-year chart looks like. Well, what the heck has happened here? Literally nothing, right? Yes, we see some insane peaks and valleys, but look how much more opportunity there was here, right? There was like way more opportunity, at least in my opinion, right? What were we trading at 5 years ago? Around $11. It's trading at $14 now. I don't know. For me, I'd rather be selling options on a stock like this, right? That there's a lot more opportunities coming into play for me, right? Now, I haven't traded this in quite a bit of time now. I did last year sometimes on the dips, especially when it was trading around like 9, right? Towards all these bottoms is where I'd go. But now Ford has really started to kind of blow up here. And again, I'm always looking at the technicals. That's why I think having a high conviction watch list is always important to have, because look at this, guys. Like if I'm trading above my 50-day moving average, my 2 and 300-day moving average, I'm at 66 on the RSI. Why would I sell puts on this, right? This is a time to sell calls on this. Now, what's the benefit, right? Well, let's say I did a 15 call on this, right? Usually we should see a retraction when we're especially kind of blown past, like right here, right? When we shot up to just about 14, right? And we saw a retraction back into reality here. And that's what we expect to see with a Ford here. Now, is that a guarantee? Absolutely not. Nothing is. But that's what we expect to see. So we do our best to not get our shares called away, but it does happen, and it's the nature of the game. My number one rule for selling covered calls is this, right? If you love the stock so much, put it in your buy and hold portfolio and don't run covered calls against it. Whether I'm doing calls or puts, I assume that I'm going to be assigned. That's one way to kind of lessen the burn when eventually and inevitably you lose your shares that you might have had an insane cost basis on. Now, that's not to scare you. That's just to tell you the reality of how the stock market works. It's ruthless and it will get the best of you. Guys, if you want my 2 premium calculators as well as my full trade lock template to keep yourself nice and organized, attend the Ark Options Strategy right now. It's 90 minutes long. I show you how to take the wheel strategy to the next level. At the end, I give you this stuff completely for free to walk away with. And I also talk about our OSS Mastermind, which is filled with incredible individuals. So if you want to talk about option selling, trust me, I know how lonely it is in real life. There's no one to talk about, your passion for selling options on. Listen, we talk about this stuff quite literally all day long. Plus, you got all the training resources and so many other cool things. And I talk about that at the end of that Ark Options workshop. So click that first link in the description of today's video, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.